hello and welcome back to I think this is the ninth video in the series. And once again, thank you all so much for watching my videos and also for the subscribers. And without further ado, let's get started. So let's open up our Godot. Okay, so um, in the last video, we stopped at just, we fixed the camera a bit. So this is where we stopped. We had a basic layout, basic background, basic tile map and all that. And today we're going to do something that I should have done in the very first video, and also some additional other features and aspects. So the first one would be we have to fix the viewport of the whole game. It's a 2D game, so the camera would have to be different from any other kind of camera, meaning that we have to be closer to the player than other regular forms of games. So let's go to our project settings. We go to our window, our viewport, and our height. So from what I've seen online and other articles and other documentations that I've read, it's usually 320 by 180, and you can double it, or you can times it by 2 depending on what you prefer. And you also have to work with the kind of assets that you have. The assets that we have for this series is 8 bits, which is the one that we got from itch.io. So after we've done this, we close it and we go to our main scene. You can see that it has reduced to this size here. So we have to move everything into this viewport. So first off, let's select our tile map, select our move tool. Let's move our tile map here. Then let's also move the player here. Let's see if it's good. Okay, yeah, let's move it down a bit here and move our player down here, which means that we also have to adjust our player camera to be for this top to be here, left to be here, and then this bottom should come here. And from what I saw online and after reading some documentations, all you have to do is just set the left to 0 and top to 0. Then you can adjust the bottom and the right to whatever width or whatever pixel that you prefer. So let's go to in fact, let's measure it first. Let's take our measuring tool here. Let's measure from here to the bottom here, which is 180.0. Good. So let's go to our player, our camera 2D. We can set the left to 0 so it won't go past this point. We can set our top to 0 so it won't go past this point. Then we can set our bottom to 180. We can save it and also save the scene. So now let's play it and see. Good. As you can see, the player is closer to us now and the camera is behaving just as it should, because you shouldn't be able to see the entire screen in the first go. You can only see the parts where the player is. So you have to go right, then you can see parts of the game. Good. This is good. So next now would be to add our background. As you can see, the background of this game is very bare bones and very boring, and thankfully we already have 3 backgrounds that we can work with that we got from the assets, the itch.io. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do something called Parallax Background, where each layer of the background moves at a different speed, so it will give like an illusion of, okay, you're actually passing through this place, instead of it being just a static background. I'll show you what it looks like. So let's go to our main scene. Plus, one thing I love about Godot is that everything that you're looking for, they have the exact same name. So if you're looking for a parallax background, all you have to do is type parallax background. You create it, and this parallax background, we now add our parallax layer. And in this parallax layer, we add sometimes you use Sprite 2D, but for now, I think I'm going to use a texture the texture rectangle. So the difference is that for the Sprite 2D, it's usually used when your image is bigger than the viewport. But for mine is the exact size, so it actually fits my, for the purpose of this game, it fits what I want to do. So let's create this 3 times because we have 3 backgrounds: layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. So we go to the first texture React, we drag our layer 1 over there, we go to the second one, we drag our layer 2 over here, and we go to the third one and we drag our layer 3 over here. In fact, we can play the game right now just to see what we have. So let's play. As you can see now, the background looks good. We go right, and this is where the background stops. So what we're going to do next is something called scaling, or what we call mirroring. So mirroring, as the word stands, mirror, it just replaces, or it just replicates the background over and over again until you tell it where to stop. So let's do that. So we have our initial image here. In fact, let's rename this so that we won't be so confused. We can just call it back 1. I prefer to use letters. Say back 1, back 2, and back 3. Good, 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 good. So now we go to our texture React. Let's make it duplicate on a tile basis instead of a scale. So tile, we go to this one, we make it tile. We go to this other one and we also make it a tile. Go back to the first one, go to our layout and go to our transform. So we want it to double its width each time the player goes to the edge here of the background. So all we have to do is double this number. So instead of 320, it will be 320 times 2, which is 640. Good. So we do the same thing for the other 2 texture Reacts. The second one, we go to the layout, we go to the transform, and we make it 640. In fact, if you want to really make sure that that's the size of your image, you can just come here to your texture and click on it, and you can see 320 by 180. So you just have to duplicate, or you just have to times this number so it will duplicate your image twice. Okay, so that's 640, and we do that for the third one. Our layout, transform, and we make it 640. Good. But even with this, it just only duplicates the image. It doesn't actually mirror it to continue from where the player is. I can show you. So let's play the game. Let's go right. Let's jump and jump. See, it just stops there. So even if you continue, it doesn't continue the image. So now we have to mirror the image. So we go to the first back one, we go to the motion, we go to the scale. So usually this scale is used for, you can use it to control the speed of each background. So in pixel art, usually the furthermost background, which is background 1, is static. Then the next one, which is background 2, it moves a bit fast, and then the first one here, which is background 3, moves the fastest. So we go to our scale, let's make it to be 0 so I can show you. Press enter, save, and mirroring, let's say we want it to mirror. Okay, let's not use mirroring yet. Let's play it first so I can show you what scale is. So let's move. You can see that the background at the back has stopped moving, but the one at the front are moving. Good. So let's do the mirroring to, let's say 640. Good. So each time I move, you just mirror it twice just to be safe. Just to be safe. Then we'll do the same thing for back 2, motion, scale. Let's make the scale to be, instead of 0, let's say 0.5. Then we make y to be 0. We don't want it to, we don't need anything beyond this x-axis. We don't need any y-axis. In fact, let's go back to the first one and make the y to also be 0. So 0.50, let's also make it 640. Save it. Let's play it and see. Good. As you can see, the second one is also moving. And let's also do it for the third one. The third one should be okay. One is okay. Maybe one is too fast. Let's say 0.9. And here is 0, and here would be 640. And we can save it. So now when we play the game, you can see that everything is moving. Jump and jump. So even if you jump, it just continues. See, it just continues going and going and going and going and going and going until you tell it where you want it to stop, which is something we're going to do in the future. So yeah, I think that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.